Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin Cash. So on the Bitcoin Cash chart, we see currently 20% upside, which is very aggressive. So the sentiment is not dying down. Yeah, still very bullish sentiment in the short term. We had no strong confirmation that this whole thing was breaking down. As I explained, as long as $149 is holding, the overall focus on the Litecoin chart can be higher. I would like to see at some point a healthy wave 4. So at the moment, the idea that this is going to break down increases quite, I know it's quite controversial, but the reason I bring that up is because we haven't seen a healthy wave 4. Okay, I need to explain that it will be counterintuitive for a lot of people, and a lot of people won't understand this. The problem that you get if you see massive extensions without a fourth wave, the problem is that this turns into a huge ABC structure. And yeah, it can go higher in the short term, but what we normally want to avoid is, and I take the Fibonacci extensions, A wave, B wave, we want to avoid that an impulse after a first A-B setup or 1-2 setup, we don't want it to rally too high. Yeah, otherwise something will happen like on the Phantom chart, which has turned into a mild disaster where we only had a 3-wave rally and then it turns into a several week-long correction or even month-long correction. But again, focus in the short term can be on higher as long as the $149 level is holding. However, we need to adjust that level now higher. So what are the next Fibonacci extension targets? Maybe we should talk about them first. We have 356, 408, and $508. Now, I'm not sure if it will go up that high, but I would pay some attention to the 356 level next and maybe even $408. As I explained to you in the last video, if price breaks above the resistance level, 268, then we have a signal that price can go substantially higher. It would then, looking at the bigger picture, not a wave 4 pullback, it would rather already be a wave 2 pullback. So, but again, I get, I don't want to say I get problems here, but I don't feel good about this move, given that it gets way extended without a healthy wave 4. But let's talk about what could happen here on the micro level. So on the micro chart, we never really had a clear signal that it's going to break down. So the wave, so in a bullish interpretation, we wanted to see a healthy wave 4 at some point, yeah. And we said this can be a wave 4, again, as long as it's holding $149, and we can get a wave 5 to the upside. Now, looking at this, we never got a healthy wave 4, which means that wave 3 probably never finished, or the C wave, okay? So we see an extension here higher, and that means wave 4 can still happen and wave 5 as well. Quick explanation, we need that healthy wave 4 in order to confirm that we are actually in something more bullish. If it continues to rally without a healthy pullback, which we could call a wave 4, and without showing the ability to hold a higher low, it is at some point it increases the probabilities of breaking down eventually, okay? So to really prove, so that the market proves to us that something long-term, not just short-term, I mean short-term this is of course bullish, yeah, I don't like the terms bullish and bearish. Short-term we are obviously in an uptrend, yeah, but for us to show that it will turn into a long-term uptrend, it needs to hold a higher level, a higher low in a wave 4, but it needs to be a decent sized wave 4 that needs to be similar to the size of this potential wave 2 here. Yeah, so it would be quite substantial in size, either in price, but again, it still needs to hold the 50% retracement, or in time. Yeah, okay, so obviously we never got into that support region, which means we're dealing with an extension here as per Elliott Wave. We're back above the trend line as well. So I have to assume, let me just figure out what is best. How do we look at this? So it looks like third wave is still in the making. 1 second, let me think about that. So we have a 1-2, 1-2 here. I would probably consider this another 1-2 setup down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that third wave finished here fourth wave likely here. This could be a fifth wave still in the making of a third wave, then a fourth and a fifth. Now that allows us now, so first of all, I've got this larger support for the main wave 4. This is going to be relevant. But we can also add a smaller support level for this tiny wave 4 here. Yeah, what does that mean? It means that as long as we're holding that small support that I'm going to give you, price can rally higher. It will be very similar though. It will be very similar. And you can see with those extensions that we see at the moment, those pullback zones go lower and lower. They go lower and lower because the potential for deeper pullbacks just mathematically increases if price extends and extends. Now you can see they are very close together, so it will be hard to say if we get into a pullback zone, which one is it? But I would always pay attention to the lower one at $173. So as long as 173 is holding, price can overall push higher. That is the level of risk that you're dealing with here, okay? Because that's how you can measure your risk against. It's not a super reliable level, but typically you can say if price breaks below the 50% retracement in an aggressive rally like that, it's over. So that's why we deal with that, and that is typically also the area that a wave 4 shouldn't go below. Yeah, and the explanation is if it goes below that level, the rally is likely over, and it topped in 3 waves. But if it has the possibility, or if it shows the potential, and if it proves that it can hold a higher low in a wave 4, we can get a wave 5 afterwards, and then it would be something more bullish, medium term, long term. Looking at the subwave structure, this move to the upside, it looks as if in this fifth wave of a third, we have a small 1, a small 2, a 3. This might be another tiny 4, so it looks as if it could still push higher in the very short term. I mean, this is really the micro level then. Take that with a pinch of salt because it can change frequently, but looks like the wave 4 here unfolded as an Elliott Wave triangle. Yep, it did. Elliott Wave triangles are, you call them ABCDE structures. So this was likely an, just depending on where I count it complete, but it looks like we had a bit of an A wave down here. This must have been a B, then possibly a C, D, E. Just one possible interpretation of this Elliott Wave triangle, and then breakouts towards the opposite side of the E wave for anybody who's interested in how to count this stuff. But yeah, there will be other but no, this needs to be the B wave top. You can argue, okay, was the A wave maybe here, but that doesn't make a difference. Okay, and if we then count the subdivisions of this fifth wave to the upside, we had here a 1, 2, yeah, possible third wave in, but this might be another tiny 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wouldn't rule out this still pushes a bit higher. Okay, like that on the micro level. Now with this latest extension, just for anybody who likes to understand what's going on here, as per market structure. Yeah, and then, you know, micro support, I can give you a micro support. This is really the very first and early warning that things might be starting to break down here. Very first early warning, yeah, and that will be 280. Yeah, 280. But this is very overheated now, getting very overheated, and pay attention to these support levels. As long as support holds, focus can be on higher. If that one breaks, it's likely to trigger that one. If that one breaks, then 173, and if that one breaks, then we have a 3-wave top, and it is likely to collapse at some point. I think generally with rallies like this, I mean, when they happen, great, when you're in there, okay. But I would personally, you know, take some profits along the way, be aware of FOMO, all the basics, okay. All right, that's my update about Bitcoin Cash. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.